This is my Daiwa Tatula Elite 7.3 heavy pitching rod. It is very reminiscent of the old Daiwa Light and Tough rods, which were popular probably about 15 years ago. They were silver and a little bit of purple and stuff. That's why I think I like this rod. I've had some people say they don't really like the gray and silver, and I can see that, but I really like it. This 7.3 heavy, I'm just going to briefly go over. It's a perfect rod in Ontario for fishing heavy cover. Now, it's not super long. 7.3 means you can make pinpoint casts or pitches, which is perfect. It's a heavy rod, but it's not a heavy rod, if that makes sense. It's more like a light heavy or a medium heavy plus, if that makes sense. It's got a really light tip, so it's really good for pitching jigs. It says pitching rod, but it's also phenomenal for chucking frogs on. Now, if you are like me, one of my favorite, I'm a power fisherman. I love fishing frogs, but a frog like this, you don't need a super heavy rod for. Even some of the Terminator walking frogs that I like. A 7.3 is great. It allows you to cast pretty far, still be accurate, and it's got enough power, but it has that nice soft tip, so when a fish blows up on it, you don't pull it right out of their mouth, and I do that a lot. And the main problem for me was I was using rods that were too stiff. So what I did is I bought some rods that were a little softer. My hookup ratio went way up. So that rod I actually absolutely love for the price point. 200 bucks for the rod. They have a whole series of Tatula Elites, and the Kage rods. They're all made on the same blank. They're all phenomenal rods. They're all between $150 to $200. This particular rod I think was $189 plus tax. Check out Ganyan Sports. I know they have them. And I know Peterborough Pro Tackle also has these as well. Now, because I only use this rod specifically for pitching and fishing heavy cover, I never really cast anything with it. This reel I would not use for casting frogs. It does not cast distance very good. This is the pitch and flip, the Daiwa Tatula Elite pitch and flip. Now, for years we've had rods that do specific things or are best for specific things. Daiwa has this reel that is specifically good for pitching and flipping. Mostly pitching, I would say, because the spool is really shallow and the braking system and everything in there. I'm not going to get into the scientific terms that I don't understand, but it really helps you have a low trajectory cast. Everything that is set up, the startup is really fast. The spool just spins it almost instantly, allows the bait to stay low. And what happens on other reels is the magnetic cast, at the end of the cast, it'll try to slow the spool down so you don't get a backlash. But what happens if your bait is going like this across the water's surface, you're trying to skip it under somewhere, and then it starts slowing down, it'll actually go up. So you don't want that. You want it to go straight across. And this spool and the braking system working together, it keeps it low so that you can drop it in the water very quietly without having it go up and splash down. So I was kind of skeptical about getting a specific pitching reel, but after using it last year, it has become one of my favorite reels to use. When I pick up this combo, I find if you get a Daiwa rod and a Daiwa reel, usually they feel good together. It's like they're designed to work together, obviously, because same company. This combo, it just feels like an extension of my arm. Very comfortable in my hands, personally. Absolutely love using this rod and reel. I got that loaded up with 50-pound Power Pro. It's got a super tough drag, 100mm handle, big foam pads. I'm not a huge fan of the foam handles, but they work. I can't really complain, but I'll get used to it. But anyway, that's one good combo. Again, the rod is about $200, the reel is about $289. So with line and everything, you're looking at just over 500 bucks. So that's combo number one. Really love it. It's been great.